Hi everyone, I'm Susanna with Hypnosis Haven, and this video is about New Year's resolutions and why people don't succeed at keeping them. This is actually the second take I do on this video. The first one is hilarious, but I went on with tangents about marketing and And I'm trying to make this video with a straight face, knowing what I already said and what I wish I could say. And so I will kind of let you know what I said about this. I think that New Year's resolutions are irrelevant. And I would not be making this video at all if it wasn't that a local publication asked me to write an article about New Year's resolutions and how hypnosis could help. Sounds like the perfect title, right? Except that's not the title that I wanted to write it under. That I couldn't do it because all I could think was New Year's resolutions, why you suck at keeping them. Because most of the time, let's be honest, people don't stick to them. And yes, hypnosis could help. Well, why don't resolutions work? Well, tell me, why should they? The only thing about a New Year's resolution is that it's the first of the year. Okay. What about the 1st of February or March or April or your birthday or the first day of summer or the first day of anything or just Tuesday? Why do people need the first of the year to make the change? Okay, so I'll tell you why. Marketing. Pre-programmed beliefs. And boy, oh boy, is our society full of them. So when I was going to school for hypnotherapy, we spent quite a bit of time on marketing and on, this one class in particular wasn't so much about marketing, but I do remember the director came up and we were talking about that movie with Svengali. And sorry, I'm thinking of a Seinfeld reference now. But we were talking about the way people are pre-programmed to believe in certain holidays, to buy things at certain times of the year. And when I was teaching art theory, I also, for those of you who know, I'm also a homeschooling mom and I'm the art teacher for the co-op in my area. And I'm one of the art teachers. And so in the class, we make art with color, of course. And what I do to prove the point is I put together swatches of colors and I ask the kids to tell me the first thing that comes to mind when they see these color combinations. And there are some basic color combinations, and then we get into a little bit more mature color combinations. So for instance, there's the color combination for the American flag. Most kids are going to get it. They're going to say the flag, they're going to say Captain America, they're going to say 4th of July. But then when I do like the Mardi Gras color combinations, that isn't really more until kids get older, teenage years. Then they know, oh, well, those are the colors of Mardi Gras, New Orleans, and sometimes even teenagers don't know that. But there are certain color combinations that are going to evoke the idea of a holiday, a place, and a time. Same thing here. People get to that New Year resolution time, the beginning of the year, the end of the year. It's a time when we look back and we prepare. Look back and prepare your taxes. If you want to put together a good use of time. But no, I'm not going to be sarcastic in this video. I'm going to just deliver the message on how hypnosis could help. Okay, so dearest, you're already in hypnosis. You already are. You are living your life in this repeated way of doing things. You already know what you're going to do and what you're not going to do. Very rarely do people stray and go do something completely out of what has been their realm of the familiar, because it causes anxiety, because people like comfort. We are creatures of comfort. So even when they go on vacation, People will set up the hotel room to look like it does at home. They're going to unpack and put things in their room or in the bathroom the way they do it at home. People are creatures of habit, and the habit makes them comfortable. You can drive along the highway and get home without thinking about how you did it because you take the same way every day, and so you don't even have to think about it. It's just the way you do things. People can do the same thing over and over again in the kitchen without thinking about it because it's the way they've always done it. That is a pre-programmed belief. It's a pre-programmed way of living. So sometimes those pre-programmed ways of living don't work. Maybe that pre-programmed behavior has caused them to have a habit like smoking a pack a day for 40 years, or eating dessert after they have to finish their meal, and so now they have 40 pounds that they need to lose. Okay, so there are all of these things that are catching up with them, and so they wake up because maybe they had a heart attack, maybe they had a stroke, maybe something happened and the doctor said you need to change your life. And so they've decided, I need to change my life, but then they look around and realize, well, how? Where do I begin? How do I begin? Most people want the patch, the pill, the shot, the quick fix, because it takes work. It takes work to make the change. People get into their habits and then they just get into the busyness of life and they don't want to have to think about how to change and maybe do a personal inventory about the things about themselves that they need to change. Maybe they have relationships in their lives that are encouraging this type of disastrous behavior that, well, if I stop drinking, then that means I can't go out with my friends after work before I go home. I can't invite my friends over anymore because every time so-and-so comes over, we have a glass of wine, and that glass is really a bottle, but most people don't want to admit that it's a bottle. And so there are certain things about their lives that encourage this behavior that's a bit negative, that can be harmful. And so they just sweep it under the rug and, maybe someday. Okay, so the first of the year is here and that someday is now. It's coming fast. So, okay, what are you going to do? Are you going to change? Really? Okay. I guess that's the business of hypnosis, right? Is helping people change. So when people come into my office, I'll explain hypnosis to them in the way that I've explained it in the videos before. And sometimes I explain it in a different way where I kind of tell them that they've been in hypnosis all this time and I'm going to take them out of it. And usually that throws the clients off. I don't know if it scares them, but, well, what can I say? It's true. It's that people are living their lives believing certain things about themselves, and their behaviors are what they believe about themselves, and that's what it is. That's life. It's behavior. So you're here to modify your behavior, which means you're going to have to modify what you think about yourself and what you think you deserve and what you don't deserve and what you can do and what you can't do. You don't need the beginning of the year to change. You don't need a certain holiday to tell you, oh, it's time to do this, it's time to do that, because change happens every day. You have that strength. You have that ability to say, you know what, I am going to do this starting now. The next time that this happens, I'm going to respond in this way rather than react in that way. The next time this, then I'm going to do that instead. You can do that any day, but people are programmed for holidays. So people want to change on the beginning of the year. Okay. Well, I can just say good luck. The other video was much funnier because it was very sincere, but I know I'm a hypnotist, I'm a hypnotherapist, and I'm here to tell you, yes, you can change. Yes, you can change. Some people can change by themselves. Some people know, a lot of people know of somebody that's gone to one of those smoking cessation seminars where there's a room full of hundreds of people and the hypnotist gets the people full of the room full of smokers, and then the people quit after one session, and those people are the ones that are capable of helping themselves to quit on the New Year resolution whenever they want. They don't need that first of the year marker to make the change happen. Some people need time. Some people need to think about it. They need goals in a different way. So, for instance, if you're an emo suggestible, you can't really say, I'm going to be done with this by the end of the month. You can try, and maybe you can do it. But emos tend to have more success by saying, by the spring, I will have completed these things, because they need time to think about it and feel it and get an idea about it and then carry it out. Whereas the fizz can do it immediately. So the fizz can say, I'm going to lose this amount of weight by this time and have greater success than an emotional would, because the fizz works well with deadlines. The emotional needs time to think about it. And so you can use this knowledge about yourself. If you're a client and you already know if you're an emotional or a physical, then you know which way to go about setting your goals. You might need smaller goals. Do them by yourselves if you're an emo. Fizzes, do the goals you want at whatever size you want, but the key thing is to include your friends, other fizz friends, because you guys like that whole camaraderie, that teamwork, and that accountability. Maybe the emo would succeed in competing against somebody else, because that's maybe a little bit more the way of the emo. That would be a way to motivate them is, well, if so-and-so can do it, so can I. And so in secret, they might do it, and they have their own checklists and their ways of doing it. And then they come out with the results in time. Whereas the fizz, you can see the results much faster. So keep that in mind. That'll be my optimistic bent on resolutions and how hypnosis can help. Of course, hypnosis helps change your behavior and change the things you do and the things that you don't do. So of course, if you want to quit smoking now, sure, go ahead. Now's the time. That way you can say, oh, I quit New Year's 2023. Okay, if that's what you want to say, sure, go ahead. We can do it now, starting now. If you want to start exercising now in winter, okay, how are you going to do it? If you didn't do it in the summertime when the weather was better, I don't know. To me, now seems like a better time, because it makes zero sense to me for people to be in the springtime trying to get that summer body that they just spent 2 seasons putting on. That's not fair to your body, and chances are you've been doing this for years. So now would be the best time to fix your diet, change how you eat, and improve it, and go to the gym. Do what you want for yourself, whether it's to gain weight or to lose weight. Do it now, because in the springtime, you can start getting that pre-tan or doing whatever it is that you want. So that way, when the summer comes, you already have the summer body. You don't work on the summer body 2 weeks, 3 weeks before it. That makes no sense. And if you live someplace like California where it's like always summer, then you don't really have time to put the weight on, like in Connecticut and here in the Northeast, where everybody just bundles up and hides under layers of clothing and just comfort eats all winter. It's true. I've seen it. So you've decided maybe that you want to do a New Year resolution? Okay. Good luck. I did not write that article because I just can't do it with a straight face. I know hypnosis can help. You know hypnosis can help. But in paper, writing it down, I would not be able to do it without the tone and coming across as maybe snide. And I'm not being snide, I'm being real. You don't need a holiday. You don't need the date to tell you when to change. That is my point. That's the point. If you're going to take anything from it, take that. You don't need a date to change. Change when you want. The opportunity to do better is always there. It's always with you. And yes, of course, hypnotherapy can help you. It can help you because it's going to change who you are. And I know this because I've done it myself. I'm a client and I see the results. And then I see it with my clients because they're more relaxed, they're more calm, they're unbothered, their anxiety decreases tremendously, so they're not so bothered. They're able to enjoy life once again, and they're able to be more in control of how they behave at every opportunity in every moment of life, because life doesn't happen in just one day, one holiday. The change isn't for a day, it's for your life. So don't fall for marketing that tells you you have to change on this day. No, you can change whenever you want, okay? That's the takeaway here. Change when you want. And if you can change without hypnosis and hypnotherapy, good for you. If you need hypnosis and hypnotherapy, well, then that's what I'm here for. Because when you see yourself in detail, in hypnosis, doing the things that you want to do, and your body is calm, and your mind is more focused and quiet, and it's more centered, you're able to see how you're going to live your life and carry out these new behaviors throughout the day. I put you in hypnosis and I tell you, okay, now spend a whole minute. And a minute in hypnosis is a lifetime, because you're working at the speed of thought. And so you can see yourself from the moment you wake up to the moment you go to bed, all the interactions that you have at home, on the drive to work or school, and then when you're there, and then on the way home, and then what are you going to do in the evening? It can happen really fast. So in a minute you can see yourself, and then you see yourself in the way that you would have responded, and then I can see the person tensing up, and then I just say, just go deeper and let it go. And then rewind, try again. Calm, comfortable, in control. And then you do it again and again and again. And then the mind's calm, the body's calm. So then the brain says, I can do it. And it works for the same reason that when you put on VR glasses and you see yourself skiing the Alps, when you know good well that you are standing in your living room and not at the Alps, yet you respond as if you were gonna fall off a mountain or about to hit that tree or crash into another skier, your body's gonna respond. But everything about you knows you're not there. But what you're seeing with your eyes tells you otherwise. So when you are experiencing therapeutic imagery and you are seeing in your mind, with your mind's eye, yourself living, responding, doing things the way that you want to, your body will respond. Your brain will respond. You will become what you want. And that's it. Life happens the way you want it to. You just have to come up with the idea of what you want and then remove what you don't want, whether it's a subconscious obstacle or a way of behaving with people in your life. And then you get to have the life that you want. You don't need the New Year resolution. When you wake up to this whole idea of pre-programmed marketings, you'll see you don't need it. But if you think you do, then okay. Visit my website, hypnosis-haven.com. You can learn more about me, more about my practice and my training, and some of the things I know about hypnosis. And you can schedule a consultation while you're on my site. You can send me an email too from there as well if you have questions about it, or you want to talk about change, resolutions, and marketing and how they trick you. I mean, before I did hypnosis, I studied design and interior design, and I know the spaces that you're in and the way that things are designed around you are meant to put you in a certain mood, to create certain anxieties, because under anxiety, you're going to behave in certain ways, usually stocking up and buying things, like all of those things that are on the way to the cash register. Yeah, it's a whole thing. So again, thanks for watching, guys. Thanks for subscribing. This has been a very interesting video. I hope, and I'm pretty sure it's going to be the only one I ever do on New Year's resolution. So thanks for bearing with me. This was absolutely hilarious. The other video was funnier, but this is my more serious one. All right, guys. Thanks again. Happy New Year and happy holidays and Merry Christmas and everything else that you guys are celebrating. I'll see you in the new year. Take care, guys. Bye.